Alright, welcome back. This should be the last video that you have to stare at my ugly mug. So, we're going to be going through just a final review today. And it's kind of creepy. We're going to go through pretty much the entire class in about 7 minutes or so. And if you've got your sheet out, we'll go through that. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the final exam. So, let's look at what we've seen the past few weeks. And I wrote on here, amazing that it can all fit on one page. Although there's lots of vocab words and other pieces that hopefully you've picked up along the way. Greetings. Common greetings that we have. Everybody knows hola. So I wrote that one down. When you answer a phone, bueno, B-U-E-N-O is the more appropriate response when people are answering the phone instead of just saying hola. Buenos dias, good morning. Buenas tardes, good afternoon or good evening. That usually goes till about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Buenas noches, good night. Now, buenas noches, remember, can be used when you're receiving somebody. So somebody knocks on my door at 9:30 at night, you can answer the door and say buenas noches. It's kind of like saying good evening or good night, like we would. ¿Cómo está? How are you? Somebody walks in the door. Hola, ¿cómo está? Hi, how are you? ¿Cómo se llama? What do you call yourself? How do you get called? What's your name? So if you're trying to you have a patient or a client that comes in, and you're limited on Spanish, but you want to at least get their name. ¿Cómo se llama? And they will reply with either just their name, or they'll say, me llamo, I call myself, which is reflexive, which we just learned about last week. I call myself Damian. Me llamo Damian. Me llamo Frank. Me llamo Maria. And the last one, bienvenido. Welcome. If it's multiple people, you would say bienvenidos. If it's all girls, bienvenidas. There's a couple, but if you just say bienvenido when somebody walks in, they will know that you're saying welcome, and that's okay. Days of the week: domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado. Days of the week. Months: enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. They're almost all identical. January is the only odd one. Enero. Don't know where it comes from. That's the only odd one. Everything else is pretty well matched, pretty close. Adjectives. Notes on adjectives. Remember that we have reverse order in Spanish that we do in English. They don't say the White House, they say the house white. So when you're trying to practice your adjectives, try to say in your head things in the inverse order, and it will help you to remember that. And you also, with adjectives that end in O, you need to match if it's masculine or feminine, although if you can't do that, which I imagine most of you still can't, which is totally fine, still understandable. Just get that adjective out there. Don't stress about making the changes. Just get it out there. And then, but the other piece you need to look at and think about is plurality. Is it singular or is it plural? Those are all impacted when you have adjectives. And the plurality is any adjective. Doesn't matter. So that if you had a noun, you were saying, I have 3 black books. In Spanish, they would say, I have 3 books blacks. So let's go through just a few of the adjectives that I put that I thought were probably a little more common. Alto, which means tall. Inteligente, intelligent, that one's easy. Bueno, good. Caliente, hot. Frío, cold. Difícil, difficult. Fácil, easy. Nuevo, new. Viejo, old. Fuerte, strong. Bonito, pretty or cute. And importante, important. And again, another easy one. So remember, when you want to use those, reverse the order, okay? Ser and estar. They both mean to be. They were some of the first verbs we started playing with. They both mean to be. Ser is for permanent characteristics, aspects, and situations. Okay, where something is permanently something, and we're trying to describe something, we're going to use ser. When we're talking about something that's temporary, like an illness, it's a situation, something like that, we're going to use estar. Okay, and that also gets used with location. Estoy afuera. I'm outside right now. It's a temporary situation. I'm not staying outside the rest of my life. Just happens to be where I'm at right now. Conjugations. The first set of conjugations is for ser. So listen and read the conjugations as we go along. Soy. Yo soy. Tú eres. Él es. He is. Or it is. If you just say es, it is. Somos. Nosotros somos. We are. Ellos son. They are. So that's with characteristics. Soy alto. I am tall. It's a characteristic of who I am. Soy norteamericano. I'm a North American or an American. Estar. The next set of conjugations. Estoy. Estás. Está. Estamos. Están. Yo estoy. I am afuera, outside. Tú estás en tu oficina. You're in your office. Tú estás enfermo. You are sick. Él está, or it is, just nomás está. Nosotros estamos. Ellos están. They are. Okay? Present tense conjugations. We learned a little bit about AR, ER, IR verbs. Those are the three verb categories that exist in Spanish. I just picked a few verbs, so we're just going to go through the conjugations real quick. This memorization can help, but really just practicing these the more and more you can helps. Okay, so let's go through conjugation. Tomar, which means to drink or to take. Yo tomo. Tú tomas. Él, usted, ella toma. Nosotros tomamos. Ellos, ustedes toman. Correr, which means to run. Yo corro, I run. Tú corres. Él corre. Nosotros corremos. Ellos corren. Vivir, the last verb there, to live. Yo vivo. Yo vivo in Shelby. Tú vives in Hart. You live in Hart, for example. Él vive en Ludington. He lives in Ludington. Nosotros vivimos en Michigan. We live in Michigan. Ellos viven en Illinois. They live in Illinois. Alright, question words. There's some question words that we have. This is the who, what, when, where, why, how, and how many. The most common ones that you're going to see. Quién, qué, cuándo, dónde, por qué, cómo, and then cuánto, which is how many. Like think quantity, cuánto, how many. Those first ones are just your who, what, when, where, why, and how. When you're not using them, so when you're asking questions that don't require this, like do you like cheese or something to that effect, you simply use the verb and then you put the subject pronoun after it. So let's say, for example, do you run in the mornings? Corres tú en la mañana. Do you run in the morning? Remember, the word do does not exist in Spanish with regards to questions and things like that. Possessive adjective. That's what we say to say mine, my computer, your stapler. I know people in offices tend to get a little bit picky about whose belongs to what. So my or my, if it's plural, mi, mis. Tú, tus, if it's yours, speaking to somebody I know personally. Su, sus. So su can be his, su can be her, su can be your formally. Nuestro or nuestra or nuestros or nuestras. Just depends on what you're doing there. That means our. So nuestra oficina, our office. And the last one, su, sus, again. And that could be their. or it could be y'all's. Okay. Esta es su clase. This is y'all's class. A couple verbs to go through real quick. Poder tener an ear. That's to be able to or to can. Tener means to go. Ear means to. Tener means to have. Ear means to go. Yo puedo. Tú puedes. Él puede. Nosotros podemos. Ellos pueden. Tener. To have. Tengo. Tienes. Tiene. Tenemos. Tienen. Ear. The next verb. Voy. Vas. Va. Vamos. Van. Dar, which means to give. Doy. Das. Da. Damos. Dan. Salir, which means to leave or to go out. Salgo. Yo salgo. I leave. Sales. Sale. Salimos. Salen. So, sales, you go or you leave. Okay. Sales a las 8. You leave or you get out at 8 o'clock. Expressions with hacer. Some common ones. Hace frío. It's cold outside. Hace 2 años. 2 years ago. Hace calor. It's hot outside. Me hace caso. He, she, or it, or you in the formal sense, pays attention to me or listens to me and what I'm telling you to do. Me hace falta. I'm lacking something. Something's missing. Time. We didn't go over time specifically a lot in this class, but I just wanted to put a quick couple snippets in there because we kind of alluded to it in a few different pieces. Es la una means it's 1 o'clock, and you use es with anything from 1 o'clock to 1:59. Es la una. You can say es la 1:30. Es la 1:20. Es la 1:14. Es la 1:02. It's 1:02. You just say it's 1 and then whatever the number is that's after it, and you can get time. Son las 2. Anything from 2 to 12:59. Son las whatever the number is. Okay? And you can just use digital time if you want in Spanish. There's other expressions, but if you use digital time, you can get by. A la una means at 1 o'clock. So if you're talking about an appointment, you have a la una at 1 o'clock. A la 1:20 at 1:20. And then a las 2, a las 3, a las 4, a las 4:30 at 4:30. So you can use that if you want to express time with regards to an appointment. De la mañana is in the morning. De la tarde in the afternoon. De la noche, nighttime. The ir a future. Just remember you take one of those conjugations of the verb ir, which is voy, vas, va, vamos, van. Put an a after it, and then you put the verb, and you've got the future. Voy a comer, I'm going to eat. Vas a trabajar, you're going to work. Él va a correr, he's going to run. Vamos a salir, we are going to leave. Ellos van a cobrar, they're going to charge, whatever. And reflexive. Me lavo, I wash myself. Te lavas, you wash yourself. Se lava, nos lavamos, se lavan. So, a little bit over 10 minutes, but a nice little recap of what we've seen for this class. There's vocab words and lots of pieces outside of that, but hopefully this refreshed your mind on it. I do have a final test that's part oral and part just written, and as soon as I'm able to get all the homework from you at your own pace, then I will be able to issue that test to you, and then you'll be able to get your certificate. So it's the one thing that I can hold over you in this class. So if you'd like to get a certificate for the end to put in your work file or whatever, I need to make sure that you've completed all the homework, gotten it into me, and then watch this review video, and then let me know, hey, I watched the review video, I've gotten all my homework in, I'd like to take the test, and I'll be able to get you that test in a couple days. There's a short video that goes with it, and then there's a written part as well. Get that back to me, and then your certificate should be at your doorstep hopefully within a week and a half, and with a percentage grade. Now obviously the test is take home, you can use your notes and everything else that you want, so you can refer to Google. You can look up stuff, do whatever you want. But I can only answer questions after this. So after watching this review video, if there's pieces you still have questions on, let me know. The test is not going to be overly hard or anything like that. It's just a basic, okay, do you have a basic understanding of how verb conjugations work? Do you have a basic understanding of a question? And some of it's going to be, some of the stuff that I think is a little trickier, I'll just use multiple choice. And yeah, so that's it. I appreciate you taking the time to take this class, and I will see you next time. Have a great rest of the year if I don't hear from you.